Hello everyone, this is Luigi Fan here. We have done Super Smash Bros. Melee. We have done Super Smash Bros. 64. But we're doing Brawl today. Second to last. Next video, which is coming right after this, is gonna be Smash 4, baby. I love Smash 4, but I'm doing Brawl today. I know the characters, Dixie Kong, Dr. Mario, Mewtwo, Roy, Toon Zelda, Toon Sheik, and Pramai. You might be saying, what the heck is a Pramai? Well, we will get to that in a second, as soon as I talk about the other characters. Dixie refers to Dixie Kong, a major character from the Donkey Kong Country series. According to Sakurai, Dixie Kong was intended to be teamed with Diddy Kong. Oh boy. Where the two could be tagged out for each other in the midst of battle, which is kind of similar to like the Ice Climbers, how they play. Similar to how they played in Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. The idea, however, was cut after he ran into technical issues with implementation of the idea, and only Diddy Kong appeared as a solo fighter in Brawl. No other data for the character has been found with the exception of her associated trophy. Dr. Mario can be reasonably assumed to be Dr. Mario, who appeared in Melee. Of note is that compared to the files for Mewtwo and Roy, Dr. Mario has the least data available, having only one used character file. However, upon the release of later Super Smash Bros. 4, it was discovered that several of Dr. Mario's data files are named Mario D, a name that matches a set of files in Brawl, mostly containing either duplicates of Mario's data or blank states, and originally assumed to be a debugged version of Mario. Given that Dr. Mario is a clone of Mario in both of his appearances, it would make sense that in an early step in his creation process would be to copy Mario's data, suggesting that Dr. Mario was scrapped quite early before any differentiation was done. Okay, now we're talking about Mewtwo. Mewtwo can be reasonably assumed to be Mewtwo, who appeared in Melee. Of all the unused character files, Mewtwo has the most data, having an unused fanfare, a graphics effects file, and a Wii Remote selection sound. You know how like you tap a player and then a Wii Remote will have the sound of that fighter? Though all such files are empty, as a result of his data as being arguably unjustified, cut due to not being a clone, the common belief is that Mewtwo was strongly intended for inclusion in Brawl and was the final cut made to the roster. Mewtwo later made an appearance in Smash 4 as a downloadable character. Spoilers, whoops. But anyway, I think that Lucario replaced Mewtwo, though, I think. Roy can be reasonably assumed to be Roy, who appeared in Melee, while lacking some data compared to Mewtwo. Roy has an unused fanfare, suggesting the character was also strongly intended for inclusion in Brawl. Several other theories also exist on Roy's identity, including Roy Campbell from Metal Gear and Roy the Koopling from the Mario series. I think it would be Roy from Fire Emblem. I don't think it's Roy Campbell or Campbell or Roy the Koopling. I mean, because look at it. Snake is a third-party character in this game, and usually when like there's a character from a new series, I mean, like it's a third-party series. I mean, I know how like Fire Emblem had more characters besides Marth, which is his first appearance, but he had another character besides him, which is from the same series, but he's from Nintendo. It's a Nintendo series, but usually when it's a third-party series, they'll only have the first game the third-party character is in. They'll only have one character from that series. They don't have another character. Roy the Koopling, I don't think so either, because you would obviously need Bowser Jr. Of course, Roy is playable if you choose a palette swap for Bowser Jr. along with the other Kooplings, but I just don't think Roy would make sense though, because I mean there would be other good suggestions than Roy the Koopling. You know, now here's what you'll get out of Prom-I. The identity of Prom-I is unknown, though there are two common theories surrounding the character file. One possibility is that the data is for the random box on the character select screen, as its name loosely translates to every player in Japanese. This is, however, considerably unlikely, as while my can reach each or every. The word for player in Japanese, pariah, would more likely to be contracted to pre. Another possibility is the file represents the Pokemon characters of Plusle and Minun, as their Japanese name are Prasol and Manon. Get it? Because they have P-R-A-M-A-I, Prasol and Minun, which is what they stand for of the Prom-I, which would make sense. It's the Japanese. It might be the Japanese file though. This, however, is also considerably unlikely, as the tag team character of the Ice Climbers have separate character files for the two characters. Furthermore, all Pokemon in the game use their official transliterations by Game Freak for their file names, as seen with Mewtwo's name being written as Mewtwo instead of Mewtwo, which is his Japanese name. But it could have been the Japanese file though, because I mean they have different files for each country, because it might be like some kind of Japanese file for Plusle and Minun. Toon Zelda and Toon Sheik can be reasonably assumed to refer to a cel-shaded Zelda that appears in games such as The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, much like the character of Toon Link. The cel-shaded variant of Sheik, however, never appeared in the Zelda series prior to Brawl's release, and as such, it is unknown how she was to be implemented. I don't know. That must be. I don't personally think Toon Sheik was gonna be in the game. I think like Toon Zelda would have her own down attack, because I don't think, because if there was a Toon Sheik in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, I bet it would be another form of her. But I just don't think that, because Toon Sheik is not a character. It's only Toon Link, Toon Ganon, and Toon Zelda. Those are the only three of the characters that will, like, of their actual human form that appears in Brawl. But there's, except for the only one is Sheik. She doesn't have a Toon form. The inclusion of that character file led to the formation of a rumor that was later proven false. Data of an unused Ridley Assist trophy also exists. It is believed to have been scrapped in favor of a boss version of Ridley that, it appears in Subspace Emissary. Beta gameplay. Some of the series symbols were initially the same as in the previous two games, but they were revised as time went on. The Mario series mushroom icon was refined and given spots. Pokeball icon has the top half colored in to properly represent how it is usually read. The screw attack icon was given more bends and another outline, with Yoshi's egg angle was changed with a slightly different arrangement of spots. Multiple attacks were also changed between the game's development, excuse the background noise, development and release. Kirby's hammer move is a well-known example in the E3 2006 trailer. He spins vertically when he uses the hammer in midair, almost like in Melee. Hint: the E3 2006 trailer is in Brawl, so if you want to see it, if you have Brawl and you want to see it, go watch it, because he does use that attack. Because I own Brawl and I have seen the E3 2006 trailer of it. However, in the final build, he spins horizontally when he uses the hammer in midair. Unused animations also exist on the disc, showing Kirby walking with the hammer still out, an animation of him swinging the hammer. This has been taken as a sign that the hammer Kirby used was meant to be charged. The option was finally added in Super Smash Bros. 4. Yeah, they're referencing a beta element, which is kind of cool. And Sakurai doesn't mention the beta element in the direct of Super Smash Bros. 4, but he does mention that now Kirby can charge his hammer, but he doesn't mention that was originally going to appear in Brawl. He never mentioned that, which is surprising. In the Nintendo World 2007 trailer, when Fox appears, he has his blaster in his hand during the whole battle, despite the fact in the final release he only uses the blaster when using his standard special move. Additionally, animations left in the game data show both Fox and Falco inspecting the environment before putting their blasters away. They appear to have been intended for a mechanic where overusing the blaster would cause it to overload or misfire. Link's spin attack was also changed over time. First and second trailers, it is given the appearance that there are two strikes on top of each other. In the final game, however, there's only one strike. The early spin attack also lacked the red overlay on the splashes. Pikachu's quick attack was also altered. In the first trailer, is shown making two bip sounds, one with each teleport. However, in the final version, the sound was altered significantly, and it only makes one sound on the first teleport. The catchers for the Perry Trophy are named Peach Peach Tech C, though through Peach Tech F, which falls in line with the naming convention of Peach's textures. Furthermore, the model for Peach's normal parasol is named WPN Peach Kazar. This indicates that Peach was originally going to have Perry as her parasol weapon. Snake in particular had many differences from the final product. First, grabs in some early pictures. He's shown grabbing some characters with more accuracy than in the final game. One picture shows Snake grabbing Ike from his right arm and mouth, but in the final version, his grab move is shown with less accuracy. With every character being grabbed by the head, Snake's minds also were considerably more realistic looking, sporting a drab, dark gray green look instead of the light gray seen in the final game. Jeez, I'm sorry. I just read too fast that I'm just messed up on a couple words. In trailers, characters were also shown to be knocked out via the colorful explosion when they crossed the upper blast line in the final game. Normal characters can only be knocked out this way in the Subspace Emissary. E for All 2007 had a playable demo of Brawl available. This demo was lacking several starter characters: Kirby, Zelda, Sheik, Pokemon Trainer, Ice Climbers, King Dedede, Wario, Olimar, and Lucas are all starters in the final game, but were unavailable in the demo. The demo did however, allow Sonic to be playable from the start. Seriously! Again, that's a weird thing. Over Kirby! What is up with Kirby just not getting the spotlight? Jeez. If you have watched my Super Smash Bros. Melee beta elements video, watch it again because I explain how Kirby was originally going to be unblockable in that game, which is pretty sad. Oh. Over Kirby, Sonic. I mean, I know Sonic is famous and all that, but third-party character defeats Kirby with that. Wow. Yikes, jeez. Wow. By examining the features of certain characters, it is shown that visible battle damage was at one point planned to be in the game, as evident by such unused textures as a Meta Knight mask texture with large gashes on his helmet and a cracked visor for Captain Falcon. The visual damage would later be incorporated in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U for characters such as the aforementioned Meta Knight and Little Mac. I have never seen that before. I gotta test it out sometime. There also exists some unused palette slots for the characters on the game's disc. One such unused costume was a blue-colored Luigi under the name Fit Luigi 02 Pack PCS. Unusually, this costume has its shadow model integrated into the primary model rather than having it as a separate model. Oh, about the and also Link's shield would also break too if it received battle damage. And Pit originally had an early artwork along with Snake. Uh, Fox was shown with his blaster in his hand while he attacks. Wow. Just wow. Beta stage design. Similar to the early screenshots for Melee, the initial Pokemon Stadium 2 had no graphics on the screen in the background. Shadow Moses Island also had an outdoors area, while Snake can briefly be seen in it from the Nintendo World Report 2007 trailer. It can only be seen via hacked cameras in the final game. In the E3 2006 trailer, Snake's cardboard box can be seen in the background of the stage while the Nintendog appears. This does not occur under normal circumstances in the final game. About the Shadow Moses Island thing, yeah, you can actually see it if like you have a glitch camera. Just like I think you have to keep on going forward, and then you can actually see the beta stage of that, which is kind of cool. Beta single-player elements. Multiple scenes in the subspace emissary were cut due to time constraints, which leaves some part of the story out. However, an update of the dojo explained these removed cutscenes. Among the explanations include how the subspace army takes over the halberd and King Dedede unintentionally stalls Meta Knight from preventing it from happening. TV spot for Brawl also shows Mario instead of Kirby fighting P. Piranha. The font for enemies in the developing subspace emissary was slightly different, but simply more spaced out, and additionally, an early screenshot of the Battle Fortress shows a considerably less overcast and brighter sky. An early classic mode screen appears in the ISO file as well. Unusually, it uses a sound effect from Melee. An early classic mode screen appears. Oh wait, I just read that. Jeez. In a screenshot of Brawl's classic mode on the dojo, a battle against Giant Meta Knight is depicted with two allies, whereas in the release version of Brawl, there's only one ally on the Kirby stage, and a giant battle there. Additionally, no giant battles past stages to give the players two allies. The Pokemon trainer had unused jumping, falling, and landing animations that can be presumed were intended to be used for the traversing stages. In the final game, he simply space jumps when his Pokemon gets too far off screen. A file inferred to be part of controlling menu and display elements of the subspace emissary has been discovered to contain an unused display element labeled INF8DV level 0000, which appears to display a level number and a bar labeled PP. PP. EP. Oh my god. I can't say it. Which is animated from full to empty in 50 frames based on other file names. Its purpose appears to have been to display a level number before beginning the stage. Beta names. Wario Bike, Drill Rush, Summit, Halberd, Rainbow Cruise, and Flower Booms and the Echoes were originally called Wario Chopper, Triple Dash, the Summit, Battleship Halberd, Rainbow Ride, and Flowers Bloom on the Nose. Respectively, it is unknown why the names were changed, although Rainbow Ride was likely changed because it was a Melee stage that had been misnamed Rainbow Cruise in that game, although it remains Rainbow Ride in the PAL regions again because it was called Rainbow Ride on the PAL version of Melee. The description for the My Music options originally said, it's just how often a song will appear on the stage. It has since been revised in a general tone to say, it's just how often songs appear on stages. Along with this one piece of music that was planned for the Delfino Plaza stage was later moved to Luigi's Mansion. That track being Castle Boss Fortress Super Mario World SMB3. Scrapped masterpieces. Here we go again. If you haven't watched my Super Smash Bros. Melee video, I talk about how rare it are idiots. In all versions of the game, a masterpiece of Donkey Kong Country was to be included. It is believed the game was not included due to rights issues. Donkey Kong Country was initially made by Rareware. Now, I'll go a little easy on them for this one. Just a little easy. Because in 2005, you heard the message, Microsoft took Rareware from Nintendo, which is probably why. But, why? Why? Donkey Kong has made an appearance in Rareware. Any Rareware thing should just be cut out the... Donkey Kong is like, well, excuse me, are related to Rareware. Diddy Kong Racing and Donkey Kong Country are Rareware-related games. Now, they could have been scrapped, though. I mean, I do understand how, like, they didn't want it because, it's a Rareware game and Microsoft and Nintendo aren't related, and Microsoft took Rareware from Nintendo. But still, like, you guys could delete Donkey Kong off the game. Granted, Donkey Kong is awesome and all, but if you're gonna complain about Donkey Kong Country, delete Donkey Kong then. I mean, even though it's one of Nintendo's most iconic characters, still, if you're gonna complain about that. In the American and PAL versions, masterpieces featuring Fire Emblem, Mancho no Nezo, and Earthbound are believed to have been planned to be included as the data is found on the disc. Another theory is that, however, that the games are simply left over from importing the data, the Japanese version. Now, the Japanese version, both of those games are in the Japanese version, but never made it to North America, which is where we live in. Scrapped music. Oh, and anywhere else that has Brawl. Within Brawl's game data, many unused and empty music files have been found on the disc. The reason that they were removed is unknown, though. It is commonly believed that some tracks were removed due to copyright issues, limited space, or simply personal preference by the developers. All track files in the list are empty, that is. They do not produce any sound when played back, much like the unused character files in the game. This leaves only the file name to determine what the music track was intended to be. However, the most equivocal file names make it more difficult to determine exactly what the songs are supposed to be. So, here is... I'll read the series. It goes Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Yoshi, Star Fox, Fire Emblem, Mother, Wario, Animal Crossing, Missionless Songs, Metal Gear, Super Smash Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. Okay, now I'll go quickly on this because this is a long list. Unknown track assumed to be from Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Japanese translates to Mushroom Forest due to its position in the list, which follows a general chronological trend, and it is assumed this track was the theme for Toadwood Forest, also from Partners in Time. Japanese translates to Ballad of the Windfish, a notable track from The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, as well as an unrelated track from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Unknown track assumed to be from Yoshi's Cookie. Unknown track assumed to be from Star Fox Command. Assumed to be used for the stage transitions of the Castle Siege. Other assumes that it may have been a stage transition theme from the Fire Emblem series, again similar to Prince to Advance. Assumed to be a shortened form of the Japanese, which translates to Chosen Ones, a track from Fire Emblem Manchu no Mezo. Santuza-san is the Japanese name for the new age retro hippie and enemies from Earthbound, whose battle theme is similar to one from Mother, where a similar enemy also appeared. 8 melodies, a term describing two different tracks from one from Mother and one from Earthbound. Smiles and Tears, the ending theme from Earthbound, which is based off the game's 8 melodies. Smiles and Tears was later included in Super Smash Bros. 4, assumed to be Because I Love You, a track from Earthbound. Track of unclear origin in the Wario universe. The Japanese Radio Tezo translates the radio exercise as a track from Animal Crossing. Assumed to be a medley of tracks from the generic sports title of the NES, such as Soccer. The Japanese name for the game, Stunt Race FX, assumed to be a track from that game. Due to its placement in the file system of Brawl, assumed to be the main theme of a Metal Gear Solid game. Hypothesized to be Metal Gear Universe music from Beatmania. Assumed to be a duplicate file of the How to Play music. Assumed to be You Can Do Anything, a track from non-North American releases of Sonic CD. A removed track from Super Smash Bros. Melee. The 55 may suggest that it was a rip of Melee version of Manu 2, track number 55 in the game's sound test. Another hypothesis is that it was to be one of the other tracks from Melee to not be present in Brawl, such as Fourside or Yoshi's Story. Assumed to be another removed track from Melee. What the song was supposed to be specifically is unclear. Assumed to be used in the intros for classic mode. Really? There's not even no intro for classic mode besides that would be the whole music. Assumed to be used in the endings for classic mode. Assumed to be another track for the How to Play video. Along with the above music files, the following unused songs also found in the data intended for use in the subsidies. I'm sorry, I'm not reading all those. Scrap trophies. Some characters have been unused with R2 in the file name, showing them in various poses, most in possible gameplay poses. Some not. It is possible they were intended to be a third trophy for each character, similar to how every character in Melee has 3 trophies, and the concept was scrapped for an unknown reason. Some trophies are carried over from Melee. Now I'll read only the characters that have been changed. Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Zelda, Sheik, Zero Suit, Samus, King Dedede, Falco, Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Pokemon Trainer, Lucario, Captain Falcon, Pit, Snake, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, other Donkey Kong, well, there's 2 of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. And here's the unplayable characters. The 3 don't make it as trophies, but the other one does. Donkey Kong Jr., Dread Kong, an enemy from DK Jungle Beat, a party monkey from DK Jungle Beat. And here's the one that's been changed, Samurai Goro. Scrapped victory themes. Among the unused music files are various victory themes that are specifically attributed to one character, suggesting that characters were supposed to have their own victory theme, independent of their series. In the final product, only Meta Knight has a different fanfare than the other characters of his universe. Super Smash Bros. 4 would eventually add alternate fanfares to more characters. Of note is that 2 of these unused fanfares refer to 2 unused character files in the game. Those characters that would have their own different fanfare would be Luigi, Bowser, Peach, Zelda, Sheik, Falco, Ganon, Zero Suit Samus, Lucas, hey, Lucas, me right there, Diddy Kong, Pokemon Trainer, King Dedede, Lucario, Ike, Jigglypuff, and here's the other ones that were scrapped. The 2 that I talked about earlier in the beginning of the video Mewtwo, Roy, and then the other one is Toon Link. Along with this, there are two unused fanfares. Their intended use is unknown, though it is believed that they could have been used as stage clear themes. Scrapped enemies, and this is the last thing. Thank God, I've read so much. Among text data for enemy names, a few unused names exist, implying enemies that were cut. These names are Malorn, Mechaboom, Boblet, Worm, Plome, Aliens, Alien. Mizzo isn't also included in this list. Those are all the beta elements of Super Smash Bros. Melee. A 30-minute video of just plain beta elements. I thought that would never end. Anyway, guys, I hope you love this 30-minute video, and peace out.